Welcome to Stay Stoic. Today we're diving into a powerful and transformative concept. The first step to self-improvement is self-destruction. Now, before that sounds too intense, let's unpack what this really means, especially through the lens of Stoic philosophy. If you've ever felt stuck in life, trapped by your own fears, doubts, or habits, this message is for you. The Stoics believed that in order to grow, we need to break down the old limiting versions of ourselves. It's like renovating a house. You can't build something new and beautiful without first tearing down what's no longer serving its purpose. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself repeating the same mistakes or falling into the same mental traps? If you've ever wondered why you're still stuck in the same place, despite your efforts, it's time to confront the reality. The version of you that continues to be fearful, doubtful, proud, or distracted is the problem. Consider fear. Fear of failure has kept many from pursuing their dreams. Perhaps you wanted to apply for a higher position at work, but the fear of rejection made you hesitate. You convinced yourself that you weren't ready, that the risks outweighed the potential rewards. Meanwhile, someone else, more courageous or simply less afraid, seized that opportunity. The result? A missed promotion and the stagnation of your career. The old self that is paralyzed by fear not only holds you back, but also ensures you remain invisible to the success you could have achieved. Doubt compounds this issue. Doubt eats away at your confidence, making every decision seem fraught with peril. Opportunities slip through your fingers because you're caught in a loop of overthinking and hesitation. The old self, marred by doubt, fails to act, and as a result, it watches from the sidelines as others advance and succeed. Pride, while seemingly a strength, can be equally destructive. A prideful attitude can make you resistant to feedback and change. Think of a time when you were offered constructive criticism at work, but dismissed it because you felt you already knew best. This prideful refusal to adapt can halt your growth and alienate colleagues, effectively putting a cap on your advancement. The old self, inflated with ego and resistant to learning, limits your progress and sabotages your relationships, leaving you isolated and stagnant. Distraction, the silent thief of focus, is another crucial barrier. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of daily life, social media, endless meetings, trivial tasks, while ignoring the crucial goals you set. You might start to think that the more you care, the more you should hold on tightly. But here's where the Stoics offer a different perspective. How many times have you sat down with the intention of working on a critical project, only to find hours have slipped away due to distractions? The old self, consumed by superficial engagements, prevents you from dedicating time to what truly matters, causing missed deadlines and unfulfilled goals. To move forward, you must dismantle this outdated version of yourself. It's not enough to merely recognize these traits. You must actively work to eradicate them. This requires more than just a surface-level change. It demands a profound internal shift. The consequences of not addressing these issues are clear: missed opportunities, unfulfilled potential, and perpetual dissatisfaction. The old self, bogged down by these limitations, guarantees that you remain stuck, watching others surpass you while you struggle with the same old problems. But by engaging in this critical process of self-destruction, you can clear away these obstacles and embrace a new self, one that is prepared to seize opportunities, act decisively, and achieve meaningful success. To move forward, that version needs to be destroyed. This isn't about hating yourself or being harsh. It's about recognizing what's not working and having the courage to let it go. Just like a snake sheds its skin to grow, we need to shed our old selves to become who we're truly meant to be. So how do we actually do this? How do we get rid of these old limiting versions of ourselves? The Stoics believed that change begins in the mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you keep thinking the same limiting thoughts, you'll keep living the same limited life. But if you change your thoughts, you change your life. Step 1. Identifying and overcoming limiting beliefs. Breaking free from the old version of yourself and stepping into a stronger, more empowered version isn't just about wishful thinking. It requires practical action. One of the most critical steps in this journey is identifying the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. These beliefs often lurk in the shadows of our minds, subtly influencing our thoughts, actions, and ultimately, our lives. But with some reflection and intentional effort, you can bring them to light, challenge them, and replace them with more empowering perspectives. Limiting beliefs usually develop over time, often rooted in past experiences, the opinions of others, or societal conditioning. Imagine you're in a relationship where you constantly feel insecure. You might believe that you're not good enough for your partner, that they'll eventually leave you, or that you'll never be truly loved. These thoughts can lead to behaviors that actually harm the relationship, like excessive jealousy, neediness, or even pushing your partner away because you're so convinced that the relationship is doomed. Or maybe your partner constantly criticized you, making you feel like you were never doing enough. Over time, you might start to believe that you're inherently inadequate, and this belief could seep into other areas of your life, affecting your confidence at work, your ability to form new relationships, and even your self-worth. This is how limiting beliefs work. They start small, but they can grow and spread, influencing your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your reality. These are classic examples of limiting beliefs in action. Beliefs that shape your reality because you've accepted them as truths without questioning them. To break free from these patterns, the first step is to identify your limiting beliefs. You can identify these limiting beliefs by pausing and reflecting. This might seem daunting, especially if you're not used to examining your inner world. However, it's a crucial step in understanding what's been holding you back. Start by thinking about the areas of your life where you feel stuck or frustrated. Maybe it's your career. Do you feel like you're not progressing as you should? Do you think you'll never get that promotion because you're not smart enough? Or perhaps it's your relationships. Do you often feel insecure or unworthy of love? These feelings of frustration and inadequacy are often signals that a limiting belief is at play. Or maybe it's in your social life, where you've convinced yourself that you're awkward and people don't really like you. These beliefs often show up as negative self-talk, the critical voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, not capable, not deserving. Once you've pinpointed the areas of your life where you feel held back, dig deeper by asking yourself some introspective questions. For example, if you're struggling in your career, ask yourself, what thoughts do I have about my abilities or potential for success? You might discover thoughts like, I'm just not a leader. These thoughts, when repeated over time, solidify into beliefs that shape how you see yourself and what you believe you're capable of achieving. Once you've identified these beliefs, write them down. It might sound simple, but there's something powerful about putting pen to paper. When you write down your limiting beliefs, you externalize them. You take them out of the swirling mess in your head and make them concrete. This act alone can help reduce their power because it creates some distance between you and the belief. It's no longer an unquestioned truth. It's just a sentence on a piece of paper. Let's say, for example, you've written down the belief, I'm not good enough to succeed in my career. When you see this written down, you can start to question it. Did someone in your past tell you that you weren't smart enough or capable enough? Have you faced setbacks that made you doubt your abilities? Understanding the origin of your limiting beliefs can help you see that they're not absolute truths. They're just interpretations of past experiences. Is this belief really true? What evidence do you have to support it? More importantly, what evidence do you have that contradicts it? Maybe you've received positive feedback from your boss in the past, or perhaps you've successfully completed challenging projects that required skill and intelligence. Reflecting on these positive experiences can help you see that your limiting belief is just that, a belief, not a fact, and you begin to weaken their hold on you. Another practical step is to examine where these beliefs come from. Often our limiting beliefs are rooted in past experiences or the influence of others. Maybe you had a critical parent or teacher who made you feel inadequate, or perhaps you've experienced failure in the past and have allowed it to define you. Understanding the origin of your beliefs can give you insight into why they've taken hold and help you begin to dismantle them. Once you've identified and questioned your limiting beliefs, the next step is to replace them with more empowering beliefs. This isn't about jumping straight to unrealistic affirmations that don't resonate with you. Saying, I'm the best at everything, when you don't truly believe it, can feel hollow and even counterproductive. Instead, the goal is to gradually shift your perspective to something more balanced and constructive. Let's say you've been struggling with the belief that, I'm not good enough to succeed. This thought might pop up every time you think about going for a promotion at work, starting a new project, or even pursuing a hobby you're passionate about. The weight of this belief can be paralyzing, keeping you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and inaction. But what if, instead of trying to convince yourself that you're the best at what you do, which you might not believe, you replaced that belief with something more grounded? Something like, I have the skills and determination to achieve my goals. This new belief doesn't ignore the challenges you face, it simply acknowledges that you have what it takes to overcome them. It's a shift from focusing on what you lack to recognizing what you bring to the table. You're not pretending that the journey will be easy, but you're also not letting fear and doubt dictate your actions. Imagine you're someone who's been putting off starting a business because of a belief like, I don't have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. This thought might stem from comparing yourself to others who seem more successful or more experienced. But instead of letting that belief keep you from even trying, you could start to shift your mindset to something like, I may not have all the answers yet, but I'm capable of learning and growing along the way. This subtle shift in thinking can open up a world of possibilities. You might start by taking a small step, like researching the basics of starting a business or networking with other entrepreneurs. As you begin to take action, you'll likely find that your confidence grows. Not because you've suddenly become an expert, but because you're proving to yourself that you're capable of making progress, even if it's one small step at a time. The same principle applies in personal relationships. If you've been telling yourself, I'm not lovable or I'm not worthy of a healthy relationship, those beliefs can become self-fulfilling prophecies. They might cause you to sabotage relationships or settle for less than you deserve. But by gradually shifting to a belief like, I am deserving of love and respect, you can start to make different choices, like setting boundaries, communicating openly, and choosing partners who treat you well. The key to this process is consistency and patience. Changing deeply ingrained beliefs doesn't happen overnight. It requires ongoing effort to catch yourself when old patterns of thinking arise and to consciously choose a more empowering belief. Over time, these new beliefs will start to feel more natural, and the actions that follow will become more aligned with the person you want to be. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, take a moment to pause and reframe it. Acknowledge the skills, qualities, and strengths you do have, and focus on what you can do to move forward. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending that everything will be easy. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance to succeed by building a mindset that supports your growth and potential. Each time you replace a limiting belief with a more empowering one, you're taking a crucial step toward becoming the person you aspire to be. As you begin to internalize these new beliefs, reinforce them with action. When you act in alignment with your new beliefs, you begin to transform those beliefs from mere thoughts into lived realities. For example, if you've shifted from the belief, I'm not good enough to succeed, to, I have the skills and determination to achieve my goals, the next step is to back up that belief with real-world actions. It's one thing to tell yourself you're capable, it's another to prove it through your actions. This is where the magic happens, where your mindset and behavior start to reinforce each other, creating a positive feedback loop that propels you forward. Let's consider a scenario where you're aiming to advance in your career. Previously, your limiting belief might have held you back from even considering a promotion. But now, with your new belief that you are capable and deserving of success, it's time to act. Start by applying for that promotion or taking on new responsibilities that showcase your skills and dedication. Even if you don't feel completely ready, remember that action itself can build confidence. As you step up and take on more challenging tasks, you'll begin to see evidence of your capabilities, which further reinforces your new belief. Think about a time when you successfully tackled something that initially seemed intimidating. Maybe it was giving a presentation, managing a difficult project, or learning a new skill. At first, you might have doubted yourself, but as you took one step after another, you built momentum. Each small success made you feel more capable, and before long, the task that once seemed overwhelming became something you handled with confidence. This is the power of action in reinforcing belief. The same principle applies to personal development. Suppose you've been working on replacing a belief like, I'm not worthy of love, with I deserve love and respect. To reinforce this belief, you might start by setting boundaries in your relationships, practicing self-care and communicating openly about your needs and desires. These actions not only support your new belief, but also attract healthier, more fulfilling relationships into your life. When you act in ways that respect yourself, you're telling your subconscious mind, "I am worthy." And over time, this belief will become deeply ingrained. It's important to remember that these actions don't have to be grand gestures. Sometimes, the most profound changes come from consistently taking small, deliberate steps in the right direction. Each action you take, no matter how minor it seems, is a vote in favor of your new belief. Over time, these actions add up, creating a solid foundation for your new mindset. Be patient with yourself. Changing deeply ingrained beliefs doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires time, reflection, and consistent effort. There will be days when the old beliefs resurface, and that's okay. The key is to keep moving forward, one step at a time. Breaking free from limiting beliefs is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. By identifying, challenging, and replacing these beliefs, you open the door to a new version of yourself, one that is stronger, more confident, and ready to take on the world. And remember, as the Stoics would remind us, the power to change your life lies within your own mind. If you're still here and committed to this journey, drop a comment below with, "I am capable of anything I put my mind to show your dedication." Subscribe to Stay Stoic to continue receiving insights and strategies for mastering your mind and conquering your life. Join our community, engage with our content, and let's grow together. Now let's move on to the next step. Step 2. Define your goals, vision, and clarity. Let's start with defining your goals. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, believed that clarity and purpose is crucial for personal growth. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This quote underlines the importance of having a clear vision despite obstacles. Imagine you're feeling stuck in your career or personal life. You might be thinking, "I need to make a change, but where do I start?" Instead of vague resolutions like, "I want to improve my life," specify exactly what you want to achieve. Think about a time when you shared a special moment with your partner, whether it was a simple dinner at home or a grand adventure. If you were fully present and appreciated the experience for its own sake, you likely felt a deep sense of connection and contentment. By accepting that these moments are fleeting, you give them the significance they deserve. Once you have a clear vision, use the SMART criteria to refine your goals. Stoic thinker Seneca advised focusing on what you can control, and a structured approach helps you do just that. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break this down. Specific. Clearly define what you want. Instead of a broad goal like, "I want to advance in my career," get specific. For example, you might say, "I want to be promoted to a senior analyst position within the next year." This level of specificity helps you pinpoint exactly what you want to achieve and guides your actions more effectively. Measurable. To measure your progress, establish clear metrics. For instance, if your goal is to become a better team leader, you might set a measurable target such as, "I will lead 3 major projects within the next 6 months and request feedback from my team after each project." This allows you to track your development through concrete milestones. Achievable. Make sure your goals are realistic given your current situation. For example, if you're new to your role and aiming to become a department head, setting a goal to achieve this in 6 months might be too ambitious. Instead, a more achievable goal might be, "I will take on 1 leadership role in a project each quarter to build my management skills over the next year." Relevant. Ensure your goals are directly related to your career growth. For instance, if you aspire to become a project manager, relevant goals might include, "I will complete a certification in project management within the next 3 months," or "I will attend 2 industry conferences to network and gain insights into best practices." These goals align with your broader career aspirations and build skills relevant to your desired role. Time-bound. Establish deadlines to create urgency and structure. For example, "I will update my resume and LinkedIn profile by the end of this month," or "I will complete an advanced Excel training course within the next 2 months to enhance my data analysis skills for upcoming projects." Deadlines help you stay focused and motivated to achieve your career goals within a set time frame. Step 3. Breaking down goals into manageable steps. Large goals can be intimidating, so break them down into smaller, actionable steps. This approach resonates with Epictetus's wisdom. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By focusing on manageable tasks, you can build momentum and overcome the paralysis that often accompanies big goals. Suppose your objective is to start a side business. Instead of being overwhelmed by the entire process, break it into steps. 1. Research your market. Spend a week analyzing your target market and competitors. 2. Develop a business plan. Outline your business strategy over the next month. 3. Create a budget. Determine your financial requirements and set a budget within 2 weeks. 4. Launch your website. Set up a professional website within the next 2 months. Each small step brings you closer to your larger goal, making the process less daunting and more manageable. Applying Stoic principles can greatly enhance your goal-setting process. For instance, when faced with setbacks, remember Seneca's advice: "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." If you hit a roadblock, instead of letting it derail you, focus on practical solutions and continue moving forward. If your goal is to improve your career prospects, but you face rejection from a job application, use the experience to refine your approach. Review your resume, seek feedback, and continue applying. This approach not only aligns with Stoic resilience, but also keeps you focused on your long-term objectives. Similarly, if you're working on personal development and find yourself struggling with old habits, remember Marcus Aurelius's words: "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Don't dwell on past failures or criticism. Instead, channel your energy into proving your worth through positive actions and improvements. The final step is to reinforce your new goals with consistent action. It's one thing to set goals and another to actively pursue them. If you've set a goal to improve your health, don't just plan your workouts, commit to them. Set a schedule, track your progress, and adjust as needed. Each workout, each healthy meal, and each moment of discipline strengthens your commitment and reinforces your new self. Likewise, if you aim to enhance your relationships, take actionable steps like setting aside dedicated time for loved ones or improving communication. Consistent small actions build stronger, more fulfilling connections. The journey to self-improvement isn't easy, but it's incredibly rewarding. By destroying the old limiting version of yourself, you make room for a new, empowered you, one that's capable of achieving your true potential. Remember, as the Stoics teach us, this transformation starts in the mind. Renew your thoughts and your life will follow. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you found this message helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel for more Stoic wisdom that can help you live a better, more fulfilling life. And as always, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue growing together.